everyone, and welcome to Skin Deep. Now, I know you're probably wondering, what is this? You'll see that we have Pastor Erica and Pastor Douglas here with us. Now, we are challenging the way that people communicate. We know that this is one of the biggest issues and one of the biggest roadblocks in most relationships. And we're not just talking about marriages, we're talking also about families, siblings, friendships. These are all areas that people struggle to communicate effectively. So tonight we are doing a card challenge where Pastor Eric and Pastor Douglas, they don't know what are on these cards. They don't know what the questions are that's going to be asked to each other. But we are challenging them to answer honestly and candidly tonight. And you get a front seat into all of this.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready?
Does she look nervous to you?
Do you look nervous? So. I would be a little bit nervous.
I think she looks nervous.
I've actually done this exercise with my husband over FaceTime, and it really challenges the way that you actually communicate. It forces you to ask questions that, even though you know each other, there's layers to the way you know each other. It definitely makes you think. And part of being in a relationship is continually learning each other. So it's not once I know you for the rest of your life. It's I have to continually know you, learn you, understand you. So with that being said, are you ready?
I think so.
Okay, so the way this starts is that they are going to look at each other for 10 seconds. They're going to focus, they're going to be present, and they're going to actually get into each other's space. Okay, so I want you to still your thoughts, still your minds, and actually just be present here. So look at each other for 10 seconds.
You counting this out?
Yes, I'll tell you when. 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's begin. Who's going to go first?
So I should go first.
Okay, not ladies first?
No,
okay.
not on this occasion.
And let's begin.
Okay, this is something I think you all should do at home as well. Do you want to go first?
No, it's fine.
You
go.
sure? Okay,
Yeah.
my question is this. We've not looked at this. We don't know what it is. It says...
And we do recommend that the questions that Pastor asks me, the men should ask their wives that, and vice versa. So write them down. Don't try and do it, obviously, while the show's going on, but write them down, and you can do this yourselves.
Okay. What do you think is blocking me from being the best version of myself? Let me say it again. What do you think is blocking me from being the best version of myself? I thought I was myself, but never mind.
What's blocking you? Maybe, I think, if I think about it, I think certain things that you've been through growing up. I think if you...
Such as?
I think the things your upbringing, that has a lot to do with it. I think if you had been brought up in an environment that encouraged you to be more adventurous, to step out more out of comfort zones, I think you would be very different today. And I think it's the same thing with anyone. Based on the environment you're brought up in determines whether you soar or whether you stay beneath. If you've got you're raising an environment where people are afraid to take chances. I know that's not always the case where that affects you, but I think things that you've been through, a lot of things you've been through, I think that has affected you from becoming more the company you kept, maybe.
Okay.
Has something to do with that. What do you think?
I think you need to elaborate more, because I think I take risks. I do a lot of things.
You do.
I'm not afraid to take a risk. So the question is, let me read it again in case you didn't get it. What do you think is blocking me from being the best version of myself? So when you say growing up, okay, I got being up at 5.
Do you think you're the best
anger.
version of yourself? Though?
Well, I give my best shot.
Yeah, but do you think you could be better?
And that's why you're helping me, because you could look from the outside and help me and tell me what area do you think I could be better.
You are a risk taker. You're out there on that aspect, but there are certain things that I feel that directions that you could excel more in.
Okay, let me give you one. Education.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah. All right, so should I take a course then?
I think you should take as many as you want.
What course do you think I could take?
It's up to you. It depends what you want to further advance yourself.
But that's gonna, because I don't do things halfway. I'd get sucked into.
Why don't you start with something a little less because okay, doing stockbroking, you probably be able to learn something about investments, but where at this age do you go with that?
The Ferrari shop. Your turn.
Okay, I need my glasses to
Okay.
see. Okay, you ready for this?
No.
Are you guys ready? Okay.
Okay.
What do you think I value most in our relationship now?
Now, I think you value your family. That's very high on your agenda. Your family, having family around you all the time is very important to you. Your grandchildren, I notice when they're with you, you don't have much time for me.
Really?
No, you're very consumed with them.
Okay.
When you have your grandchildren around, you're very much, when it comes to cooking, you cook very passionately for them. I think family.
I don't cook passionately for you?
Yeah, I'm not saying no, because I'm part of the family too.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
what I'm saying is, when your family's around you, you're happiest when all your family's there. I think that's one of the highest priorities for you. I think another thing for you is maximizing time. You like to maximize your time. That's very important as well. Yeah? Am I right? Am I
You're
wrong?
right. You got that right.
Okay, so my turn again.
Yeah.
Okay, so
The speed we're going, we get through the pile.
No, I doubt that very much. What did we have to give up and why? What did we have to give up and why? That's an easy one for me, but
What
carry
did
on.
we have to give up?
And why?
As in
Yes, in life,
life,
since
what did-
we met. What did we
um,
give up?
What did we give up? That's an
I give up
interesting
a
one.
lot.
Yeah.
Can't think of anything?
Not straight off the top of my head. It's one of those questions that.
Okay, let me, if I answer this one, you do the next one then.
Okay.
You want me to answer this one?
You can.
Okay, what did we give up?
I know you.
and
I
why?
mean, I felt. I mean, you. When it came to Christianity, you gave up people that such as family. There, and it's much more than just Christianity. Why there's more to it than that. But I think the choices that we've made choices to give certain things up to follow the direction.
Yeah, but I think they want to know what, not just things.
Well,
they
you
want to
answer
know
them.
what. I mean, it's your question, but they want to know what things. So things
Yeah.
like we gave up a lot of relationships because when we met Christ, when Christ came into our life, there's a lot of people we stopped hanging around with because we knew it was not going to be good for us. We gave up a lot of things that we used to do. We're very weary of what we watch on TV. Do you remember you used to like horror movies? Do you remember you took me to Unsaved? Do you remember you made me go to watch The Exorcist?
Yeah.
And then when I got home, all those noises in my room, cats outside, made me run out my room and go and hide in my brother's bed because I was scared. And we gave up that because you did like horror movies, but you can't be a Christian and like those things. Smoking, drinking, and we weren't big drinkers. Lifestyles. We gave up a lot of lifestyles. We gave up a lot of places we'd go. Remember, your mum and dad used to have parties on Saturday nights, and we'd be there. We stopped going to those things. So there's a lot of things, and I think people want to hear what we gave up because some of them are on this journey right now, and they want to know like some of the Christians today. A lot of them don't understand what's right, what's wrong, what we should give up, what we should keep. So,
looking at it from that perspective, from the time we got saved, we made a decision. Well, I won't go back before that, but from the time we got saved, we made the decision to give up. I know for me, it was immediately there was nothing that I wanted to. I felt I was struggling with. I made choices to give them up, and many people have heard our story where I was given the ultimatum, excuse me, to choose between you and God in the early stages of when I started serving God. And even at that stage, I was willing to walk away from you, give you up.
Give me up is the word,
to give you up for Christ. And it's been those kind of choices all along. It's never been something that I've wanted more than him. So that it's always been, whatever it was from the time we got saved. I know for me, the smoking, I gave that up. Going to secular things like, secular you know, the parties and the hanging out with the friends that you would hang out with before. Our lifestyle completely changed. We gave up the old lifestyle, the old way of living. So
And a
it's
lot of
been
people in that world. Because one of the things is now a lot of people struggle with letting go of the things of the world. So that's why I thought it was important you answered that.
okay.
Completely.
Seeing as I did, I can ask you now.
Yeah, go ahead. I just asked you that one, by the way.
Yeah, but I answered it in the end.
Okay.
Okay, this is an interesting one. Would you like to be the last one standing or the first to go, and why?
Well, because I would be the first to go because you're strong, you can cope, you're pretty, you can remarry. I wouldn't want another
Are you
wife.
seeing this from perspective of marriage, right?
Is it marriage or life? Is it all
Yeah,
marriage?
okay.
I was
Would
rephrasing
you
it.
like to be the last one standing or the first to go, and why? So you want to check out before me and leave me holding the bag?
Yeah.
Put that way.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's normal, right?
No,
The woman is usually the one that lives longest.
no.
So was that talking about departing from the earth, or because what last one standing, is that in an argument? Because I don't want to be
Could be.
standing in an argument. I don't want to argue.
Well, it says, let me read it again. Would you like to be the last one standing? I don't see that as an argument. So
No. So that'd be death, I think.
yeah, or the
That-
first to go.
Yeah, well, I'll be the first to
And
go. We
why?
know that.
Then why?
Because I've taught you everything I know, and you can cope.
I don't know it all.
You know enough.
I don't.
You drive. You can handle yourself. You can do everything. The girls and Micah, all our
do you
children.
think that's fair?
It's
do you
not
think
about
your
being.
answer-
It's not
Do
being
you
fair.
think your
but
answer is
to
fair?
be honest with
Or
you,
is it selfish?
but we don't
It
have.
sounds selfish to me.
No, it's we don't have the choice. God has the choice in that.
Yeah,
But I just know.
but okay, what if God gave you the choice?
I'd say take me. How
Wow.
can I say take you? That wouldn't be fair. It's like I don't value you.
Well, there's two ways to look at it.
How's that?
Or the other way to look at it is leaving. You know, it's like, you know, I guess when people think about, you know, they don't want to be here anymore in this world, but then who's going to carry what you don't want, what you
Okay,
can't manage?
let me give you an example.
Okay.
Sarah and Danny and Dominic, they can run everything. But one thing none of us can do is cook the way you cook every week.
I'm writing a
kids will-
cookery book.
No, the kids, you know, it reminds me of that movie that I think is where I forgot what it was, where it's a black family. What's it called? Soul Food. Yeah, where the mum passed
But
away.
they figured it out.
And they all know, they're all there trying in the kitchen trying to cook, and that's when it dawned on them they didn't pay attention when she was alive.
Yeah.
So
Well, while I'm alive, I'm doing
But
my
you don't,
cookery
no,
book.
but-
Michelle's watching now. Make sure you finish typing
no,
those
because
recipes.
what you do, you go in the kitchen and you go, you throw everything in without measuring anything, and it all comes out right. And that's the problem. You don't leave ingredients for them, so they'll struggle, and the kids will suffer if they can't gather together like they do every week with you. So if it's just been me. Just put a picture in my seat and carry on. Anyway, does that answer it?
Okay.
And another thing I gave up, just coming back to that, was I gave up my right to be right. That's
is
a
that,
big
is
thing.
that one off or is that continual?
No, it's continual.
Okay.
Come on. Do I argue with you?
No, I'm just checking.
I always give up
I'm
my
just
right to be
checking.
right. Okay. Why do you think I'm in your life? That's a good question.
Why are you? in
Why
my
do you
life?
think I'm in your life?
Because I said yes to you. I said yes to you, and
Is
you
that a
asked me
reason?
to marry you.
Is that a reason?
Well, yeah, because I
That's not a
could.
reason.
You're.
That-
No, hold
That's
on.
like just skim the surface.
Yeah. Why are you in my? Why,
No, I asked the question.
I'm just repeating it
Yeah.
out loud.
Why do you think I'm in your life?
Because we chose each other. Because I love you. Because I chose you to spend the rest of my life with you.
But why?
Why?
Why would you pick me and not John Brown?
You're the one that I picked. You're the one that I fell in love with. You're the
Oh, that
one
makes
that,
more sense
that
when you
you're
say
the,
that.
Yeah, you're the
But
one
when you
that
say
I would,
you're the one I picked, it's like, okay, meeny, meeny, miny,
no,
mo.
no,
Okay.
never like that. You were
Okay.
the one that I wanted to start a family with, raise a family together. You're the one that I want to grow old with.
Okay. So this is off the block now, right? Can I ask a question off the block? We're not
No,
in the
you're not
cars.
allowed.
Yeah, I will ask a question off the block. What did you think when we first met? When I first met you?
What did I think?
Yeah.
Is this an ego?
No,
It's like
no. I mean,
stroke the ego.
no. These are what people questions people want to ask. Even the kids are like sitting on the edge of their chairs
Oh,
waiting.
whatever.
They're all on the edge of their chair. Look, Sarah's nearly on the floor. She's waiting to hear. Go on.
I thought he's cute.
Is that what you thought?
Yeah, I thought he was
Okay.
really cute. Thought he was really handsome.
Mm.
But then,
Yeah.
yeah, we know the rest of the story on that one.
No, we don't know the rest.
Okay. Well, the rest of the story was I saw you with this toddler, figured it was your child, and I shut that down immediately. So the cuteness, I mean, obviously what you see with your eyes, but I made a decision I wasn't going to show any interest in that because I thought you were already involved in a relationship.
Mm.
So as far as
And
I
you
was
notice,
concerned,
you notice I've still got toddlers around me all the time.
yep. Okay.
Okay, carry on.
I hope you guys are finding this interesting.
You can do this at home together.
Okay, next question. And you know what's great about these? It's not really things that you'd actually sit down and
No,
think
you
up
don't
to
think of
ask,
it.
so they're great. Why do you still love me?
Why do I still love you?
Yes.
Okay. I loved you from the day I saw you.
Okay.
I remember the first time I met you, I thought, wow, this, yeah, I've had a lot of girlfriends, but this one's different. You look different. When I gave you a ride home, and I thought, wow, and I didn't see you again after that. Then I saw you at that baby dedication, what we call christening party. I remember watching you. I was sitting in the car and I saw you walking in. You had a black and white pencil skirt on, and I thought, wow, this skirt's an amazing woman. I came after you, and you're really one of the few, if not the only woman who ever resisted me. Can you believe that? you got all puffed up and told wouldn't answer my calls. Made me have to get secret detectives on you, my mates, to find you and contact you and tell you that to call me because you wouldn't return. You wouldn't call me, and that's one of the lessons I keep telling women. Men want what they can't have, and because you resisted me, it was just like. And when you talk about giving up, from the day I met you, I dropped everybody. I think you know that, right? I dropped all my friends, my brothers. I didn't hang out with anybody. Even my mum and my sister, I used to take shopping. I had no time to take anyone shopping. It was like running to you. Even after we got married, remember at 18, I remember on a Friday, because I didn't have a car then, I used to run home for all the way from Thornton Heath up to your where we lived. I'd run there because you cook all these amazing foods. So the way I'm now is your fault. But it's just...
So why do you still love me?
Because you are the most amazing woman I've ever met. You're easy to love. You know what I mean? It's just everything about you is nice. I've always thought that. Just being around you. That's why we're together every day. We don't get fed up with each other. Every time I look at you, for 26 years, I don't know how many times I told you you're beautiful. What do I tell you now?
Yeah, you still say that.
What do I say
Yeah.
to you? When do I tell you that?
Quite often.
First thing in the morning.
Yes, yeah, a lot of the
First in the
times.
morning, night I look at you, I tell you you're beautiful. I'm constantly telling you that. That hasn't changed. You never realize, I don't think to this day you realize how beautiful you are. And it amazes me when everywhere we go, even when we're in Cornwall the other day, the waitress says to you, wow, you're a beautiful woman. Do you remember that? And you never saw that. And I don't know why you never saw that. You're beautiful inside and outside. And that's what I've always loved about you. You just love passionately. Okay.
Your turn.
Okay, so. Okay, this is a good one. What do you think you still don't understand about me?
A lot.
Go on.
Oh my goodness. What do I still don't understand about you?
After 46 years. Actually, 13th of December makes 46 years exactly.
Okay, what do I still not understand about you?
Go on.
That's an interesting one. That's one I
Yeah.
need to probably find
No.
out more. No, I'm saying it out loud, so I need to, because I think a lot of the times I do things for you that, you may not, is not necessarily that you something you want. Like for example, I did you dinner on I think Wednesday.
Yeah.
I did chicken, and I know you said you don't want gravy on it.
Yeah.
So I put the gravy on the side. You had the gravy separately to add it as you will. So I think it's just taking note of those little things that.
But you remember way back, every time you grilled the chicken, I said, that's good for me.
Yeah.
I don't want it cooked down. I don't want oil on it.
Don't want it finished.
I don't, yeah, but that's finished for me. I
Yeah.
said, I've never liked any, you should know me, I don't like all that fancy stuff on.
Well, you do sometimes.
Well, not really. If you look at me, most of the times I eat like meat. I like it without anything on it. I like to have it like chicken. I like grilled chicken. So the little ones you do for me, or was it called poisson?
Awesome.
That I like. I could eat that every day. I don't like all of the cooking down, the gravies and all that stuff. I've always liked my food basic like that. But you never really got that. You
I
cook
have. I'm
it.
trying.
you do it.
But I think being a cook and it's just just that stage of food isn't always a stage that, and some dishes as well obviously doesn't work just doing that half done type of
Yeah,
thing.
but I don't see. Again, this is where I think this is where some part you don't understand about me, where I'm not fussed about the presentation of food, because at the end of the day, you're going to chop it up and eat it anyway. And I know it's important to you, but for me, I like my stuff very basic. I've always liked it like that. I've done like all the gravies. If it's chicken, I like it just grilled by itself without any potatoes, nothing on it, just by itself. Do
Yeah.
you remember that?
Yeah. So the question is, what don't I still understand
Yes,
about you?
that's
What
one.
don't I still understand about you? I think I don't, because you have your, I don't know if saying a man's room is the right thing, example, but there is a place where the way you may deal with or process problems or things that you're dealing with, that's not an area I know how you do that. You have a way of shielding me from that, so you go through however it is. Like for me, I'm probably more open. If something's bothering me, you know about it. Whereas I'm more open door to say, this is what I'm going through, this is what I'm feeling, and this is what I'm struggling with, where that part of you I don't know like that. I don't know very much about you like that.
Yeah, but you're not to know that part, because for me, my job is to protect you.
Okay.
So any problems, I can deal with the problems. You don't have to get involved with the problems. That's the way I've always seen it. So if there's anything to deal with, I will deal with it. Even when we had the building, we had to go into London to sign it off, I went by myself. I didn't want you involved in any that carrying anything, because I can carry a lot. Whereas you're more, I've always said you take everything like to the chest, you hold it. Whereas me, I'm like the duck, pour a million gallons of water on my back, I just shake and move on. I don't let anything settle on me. I move on. So my job there is to always shield you, so you don't have to deal with it, and I'll deal with it. And I'm good at that. Am I not good at that?
Yeah, you are.
You don't know what we go
Yeah.
through most of the times.
Well, I do, but I don't know the.
process.
You minimize the impact, which isn't a negative. It's
No,
not a bad thing.
that's a good thing to do,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, that's a great thing if a lot of guys would take a lot of the responsibilities
Yeah,
and pressure off their wives, right?
yeah.
Okay, next question.
So, if anyone you have any questions for Pastor Erica, please type it in. She'll be happy to answer.
No, don't do that.
She
Like-
thinks she's got enough questions here. Look.
I'm in the hot seat right now. Okay. Okay, this says, who has played the biggest role in our relationship that isn't one of us, and why? Who's played the biggest role in our relationship that's not one of us?
The honest one
and why?
is Jesus, right?
Yes,
It has to be
absolutely.
him. Without him, there'd be no us.
Absolutely.
When he came into our life, we were broken, we were finished. And this is what I don't understand with a lot of couples is that you know about God, but you don't allow him into the sense to be the center of your life. It was, I mean, I could say Ray McCauley, I could say the different guys I've met over the years, the Kenneth Hagin, the Kenneth Copeland, they all played a role, but the main one, we cannot take it away from him. It has to be Jesus.
Yeah.
Because when he came into our lives, our marriage was at the end. It was broken. And then when he came, he just began a healing process that blew us both away. He changed our lives so much. I remember the flat we had, I used to smoke so much the ceiling was yellow. And he came, and after that, all those things just disappeared. And I remember when we began, I remember you would keep telling me, because I'd work, you remember, I've always worked every hour there was, and I'd be working, drive the bus, and I'd work I had a garage, spraying cars, and I'd leave one job, go to the next job. And you say to me, you're not romantic. And I thought, what do you mean I'm not romantic? I'm working every hour there is. Every hour I'm working, and you still say to me, you're not romantic. And I just went to God. I said, Lord, could you please help me? Tell me show me what romantic is. I don't get it. I'm working every hour there is. And this woman keeps telling me I'm not romantic. I don't have time for anything else. I'm working every hour. And when I went to God, I said, Lord, would you show me what this is? And I've done that. I learned that from King David. Every time he went through something, he'd always consult with God. So I learned that in the early days. I was going to say, Lord, could you teach me what that is? And I remember it's just like this information was downloaded into me. And all of a sudden, I knew what romantic was. So that's for me. Without him, we wouldn't have anything.
There wouldn't be us.
Yeah, there wouldn't be an us. So yeah, it has to be him.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
I agree with that.
Okay. So then we do have people that influenced our lives. The Kenneth Copeland, his tapes. This is except children. This says except children. They were waving across. They said us. Don't forget us. It says except children. You're not allowed to. That would be the next thing. It would be our children.
Yes, of course.
That they made us. But it said apart from children, but they did make me grow up really quickly. You know, they made me very conscious of my life and everything I do.
Yeah, the responsibility.
Yeah, so the children as well. So yes, you all did count, but it just says to leave you out. We're following the rule, right? Who has more power in our relationship, and how has it changed? Who has more power in our relationship, and how? Let me repeat it again, because you all type it in for. So, who has more power in our relationship, and how has it changed?
Who has more power in our relationship?
Yeah.
You. Do you not agree?
No, I don't see, because I'm not a domineering person, right?
Am I domineering?
No, I'm saying I'm very easygoing. So if you said let's go to Northwood for coffee, I'll just say yes, let's go. I think that's something we've learned over the years, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to domineering, I shouldn't answer this. You're answering it. Why you see that? She's actually flipped it on me. Did she actually flip it on me? Like the question was, the question is hers, and she flipped it on. Who's the most domineering? You answered it just now for yourself. You just answered the question. Do you want to move to the next question? As you've demonstrated that so.
It didn't say
so
domineering.
Well.
The question wasn't domineering. Who has the most
Power. Well, that's what we just showed.
As in influence. Is it influence?
Yeah.
Is it me?
This question's yours.
I don't know. I think it's equal.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
I think it's equal. I don't think there's one. We're not. There's not one of us that dominates. I think we're very much.
I tell you why. I think we've reached a place of unity in our life, and I think it started years ago, even with the children. Remember when we took them on holiday those long years ago, when they're 18, 19, 20, 25 and still come on holidays with us, and we all sit down, and we never said we're going so and so. We would just say, where should we go this year? And everyone had a say in it. Even though I was paying, I should have had the final say, shouldn't I?
Should have done.
Yeah, but I didn't. That's where we're not domineering.
No,
I think it's an equal
just
footing
over
there.
time we've learned to
Unity.
listen to each other and make decisions from that place.
Yeah, but I'm saying this to everyone here as well. You know, this is something you should be working on, where it doesn't have to be I'm right and you're wrong, or you're right, I'm wrong. You can actually get to the place where you can be a couple united. I never forget that example I read where it says how if one elephant pulls 7 tons, how much will 2 elephants pull? Most people say 14 tons, but the power unity, 2 elephants actually pull 21 tons. That's a third more of their weight on their own. So one will pull 7, 2 will pull 21, not 14.
Okay.
And I think it's the same thing in a marriage. When you're united, it's not, you can achieve so much more.
And it's so much more pleasant when you
Yeah.
do have where it's not one person dominating, but
Yeah.
you have that balance. And I think it's within marriage, it's always striving to find the balance.
Yeah,
with
but
everything.
I've always wanted you to be strong. I've never wanted you to be on the back burner. I've always wanted to make you independent of me. We've done that over the years. I make you drive your own car, you have your own money, I always wanted you to be independent of me, where you could stand on your own 2 feet and make decisions. That's what I've always wanted,
Yeah.
and the children as well.
Good.
So
And my next question to you
okay.
is, what do you think relies on us the most? Sorry, who do you think relies on us the most and why?
At the moment, Ezra. He relies,
He relies
on me.
on you.
Yeah, he relies on me
Granddad,
every
everything's
day. Every
granddad.
day. He sits with me all day, every day. He doesn't move more than feet away from me. And he's happy to play there. And when he's hungry, he tells me whatever. I get him his food. But I think our family, whether we realize, are very dependent on us. And not in a financial way, but as a family. You know, I think the way we've modeled our family. I'm answering the question,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
I thought you flipped it on me again. The way we've modeled the family was to make it a strong family and a close-knit family. So we did not want envy, jealousy, or competition in our children. So we moved them away from in that environment. And everyone grew up with this right mindset where they all get on together. They all talk to each other. They're all close-knit family. And I think that's one of the things, our family, and then the church as well.
I was going to say.
I think the church, whether they know it or not, if you were removed all of a sudden, I think they'll know what they had. Unfortunately, many times, we only know what we've had when we've lost it. What do you think?
I agree. That was what I was going to say, that one, if you didn't say it. That,
Yeah.
You know, we often don't realise how much of a support system that we put in place, not just in our personal lives, but in our family and within the church.
Yeah.
So,
Well, there's a guy I met last year at a birthday party, and he said to me, he used to be with us, and he says to me, so many people who are no longer with us has divorced. And he said they all know and say if they were still with us, they'll still be married. And he said, would you be happy for me to arrange a meeting for them to tell you what they've done, what you've done in their lives? And I says, the problem with that is that you're stuck in the past and we're moving in the future. And sometimes you get that. It's only when it's gone, then you realize, oh my gosh, that actually kept me together. So, for instance, with the church, there's several anointings on the church, and the different churches have different anointings. One of the anointings on this church is for finances. One is for family. Many people in our church have got their own cars. Teenagers have got new cars. Families, I can only think of one divorce we've had. But apart from that, and I'm not saying every couple in our church is happy, but they've learned to close that door called divorce. So when you're staying in the ring and you're not getting out of the ring, you're going to keep fighting until you overcome that.
absolutely.
So many people don't know it, and the closeness of their family, after a while, you can begin to take it for granted that that's everywhere. And it's only like one lady says to me, is when she visited another church, she realizes what she has when she saw another church. And sometimes people take it for granted, but that, I think, if we were both passed away today, I think they would feel some sort of change.
Hope so.
Yeah. They've got Sarah,
Yeah.
Danny and Dominic.
Your turn.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are we going?
Is that the question?
That's a good one, right? Where are we going?
Oh, holiday, please.
I think it's talking about vision. Yes, vision is a holiday.
I was thinking, when you asked that question, I was thinking aeroplane.
Yeah. Where we going?
Somewhere hot, a beach.
Yes,
Where,
we're going to
where
Kenya.
are we going?
We're going to Kenya. We're going to
Gosh,
Uganda.
feels like we've not
I
travelled
want to go.
forever.
I want to go to Burundi because I think something's there that we need to do in Burundi. But you fight me on that all the time. You know, you don't like it, and I'm not going because it's a nice place. I'm going because I sense a purpose. So that's the difference with us.
Okay.
So
where
vision.
are we going?
Well, vision.
Oh, we're talking vision. Okay.
Vision. You want me to answer?
Oh, is this my question?
This is your question.
Where are we
yeah.
going? Holiday.
It's going to
That's
be
a vision,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Where are we going? Future, vision-wise.
Okay. Let me. Do you want me to help you?
Well, let me just
Okay, go
vision, future-wise, with regards to church. Vision is having our own building where we
That's
can
what we're going to work on.
design it. It's going to be incredible because I've got and I know the kids have, and you have got a million creative ideas of what this would be like. This most amazing place. You wouldn't even want to leave it.
Do you know?
So that
Do you
was
know who we think like when that's in from the scriptures when it comes to church?
Solomon.
King Solomon.
Yeah,
It's
it would
like
be the
gold,
best.
everything, and the
Well,
best.
it just would
Nothing
be
was too
just
much.
be the most
It was built without
incredible,
budget. Yeah.
incredible testament of
Yeah.
God's goodness. I think anything that you build, if God's involved in it, it should be the best, should look the best, it should represent who He is. So I think church-wise, our building, family-wise, one of my visions. My vision is where we're going. I would love to buy a nice big plot of land, and where everyone has their house on it.
And a big central place in the middle where everyone meets for barbecues, for cinema, for movies, for everything.
For dinner.
For
yeah.
dinner, for games, where everyone meets. But look, let me give you a good ideal of vision. Do you remember where we are now when we first went into that building? Do you remember it?
Yes. Remember what it looked like.
Do you remember the filth that was in that building?
Disgusting.
Windows painted green. It was disgusting. The whole thing was disgusting. The toilets were disgusting. Everything about it was disgusting. But when we talk about vision, we looked beyond that, and that's what we have to do in life. We have to look beyond what we can see. We walk by faith and not by sight.
Absolutely.
And after getting Josh to do the stage and the rooms, and then adding all the window panes were replaced, and then the electric blinds went in, and then the lighting went in, the air conditioning went in, the heating went in. Now the big screen has gone in, and that's what we're talking about, vision.
It's important.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Is it mine?
Yes, I think it's you. That's a simple one, wasn't
That's
it,
the
for you?
1, 2. Okay, here's a question. When were you most afraid for me? There's been a few times I've given you need to.
When was I most afraid for you? I was walking, I'd gone to, I was driving the bus, then I used to get pains in my shoulders because I'd have the window open, and I had some time off. I was walking up Parsons Road in Croydon at Thornton Heath, and there's a cemetery on the left-hand side, and I was walking there. It wasn't a cemetery, but I just happened to be at that place. I began to pray for you because they had phoned, and they said you're in the hospital with Danny. And I was walking there because I didn't have a car. I took the bus and walked in there. And I began to pray for you. I began to bind the spirit of death. At first you were meant to be in St. Mary's, and when I went to St. Mary's, they said they moved you to Mayday. All this is walking. When I went there and I saw you laying on the bed, I saw death on you. At that time, that was like, oh my gosh. And that's when I said, God, I need this woman. I need her in my life. And then that's when I called the church and began to pray. And sure enough, you came back from the dead. I knew you were dying that day, but God's grace kept you, and Danny as well. And then the second time, I think, was when we were in Athens, and you were perspiring, and you said you had food poisoning. And again, we never travel without travel insurance. And when I saw you like that, I see with me, I can take it. That's when I shield you. If I could flip with you, I'd take it and I'll go through it. But when you said to the doctor, no, I'm fine, I'll be okay, it's food poisoning. And he says, it's not food poisoning. When I had to take you in the morning because you wouldn't stay the night. And that's something you do a lot. you try to ignore what's going on, your pain. And when I took you there and they had you there for 7 days, I think the time where the reality hit me was when I saw you had 5 surgeons. I don't know if you knew you had 5 surgeons, five
Wasn't aware.
surgeons working with you. It was meant to be a gallstone, but I think there's a lot more. Something's more wrong with you than that, because I've got pictures. If I thought if I'd have showed it, you were like a stick, where you lost so much weight. But when it dawned on me, the seriousness of it was when the doctor walked out of the room and punched the air.
Fine. Can I move on? Is that you?
Yeah, right there. Oh, the other time was when they told me how much it cost me. 45,000 euros. My knees buckled. When were we most successful together?
When were we most successful together? I think I'd say, you get me emotional now. I think I would say with our children. I think we've made amazing kids.
Yeah, I think for me, after where I was raised, I was in Trinidad on my way to St. Vincent. And I said, God, if I ever have a family, I don't want to raise them like this.
Yeah.
I didn't know God. I didn't know anything. I always spoke to God since I was a child.
Yeah.
I speak to God, and I said, if I ever have a family, I don't be like this. And I think I set my mind that whoever I had children with, they're not going to be raised the way I was raised. And we went about, I remember Dominic, 18, we'd be in bed and he dives on the bed in between us, you know. And for me, that spoke so much. I couldn't even sleep in a bed with my dad with my clothes on, you know. I just didn't I felt so uncomfortable being in a room with him, because when we landed in Barbados, in Trinidad, they gave us a room, and it dawned on me then, I actually don't have a relationship with my father, because we had to share a room, and the thought of it was stressed me, and I stayed out by the pool till really late, and he was asleep. And I went in my clothes, and I slept round the edge of the bed. And I don't know, I didn't have any alarm clock, but I made sure I woke up before he did. I was out that room. I said, I don't want that for me. I don't want my family to be like this. And, you know, a lot of people raise families and have favoritisms and stuff like that. And my family is like that. There's favorites and there's least favorites. And we set about raising our children. I think that for me is one of the great testimonies, because I say this to preachers all the time. You can go out and save the world, but if you're not saved your household, you're not successful.
I think for me, most people measure success by their career, their material possessions that they've accumulated. But I think the most incredible thing that we have is our family. And for me, that's our greatest accomplishment that we've done together, is that we have raised a family, a healthy family, and just these amazing human beings, and watching another generation coming up is just that is the most incredible success that you can have. They're not doing drugs, they're not they're not doing anything wrong, they're in church, they love God. I think that has to be the most incredible thing that we've
on Sunday morning I had Ezra, and I joined the worship team doing the songs, and I raised my hand like that, and he had both his hands like that. He may not understand it yet, but he knows what to do when he hears worship. And I was watching Maya on the floor. I think it's during a conference. 6 or 7 years old, on the floor worshiping God with a bowed over, prostrate before God. And I thought, oh my God, how we never even knew this stuff. And to watch the first generation and the second generation giving their hearts to Christ, I think that's bullseye for me. That's success.
I think we might have time for
we've got a few more.
Time.
Yeah.
Try not to pick such a deep
don't
one.
get emotional about death and stuff like that. I've walked through those things.
When was the last time you felt held?
Yesterday, today.
today?
Yeah. Yeah, we cuddle all the time.
Mm.
Physically.
Yeah. Held.
Like
Oh.
emotion, like I've got you.
Oh, that's all the time. I think I know you got me.
Mm.
Emotionally, I know that. That's never a question.
Mm.
I think it seems like when we speak, we don't have problems, and it's the truth. I think we've worked so hard at getting rid of a lot of things that most couples struggle with. And I think it goes back to when I said, when I was in South Africa and I heard myself say, I give up my right to be right. That was one of the greatest revelations I think I ever had. And I came back, I remember I kept saying it, but I didn't really understand it. When I came back, I thought Jesus gave up his right to be right. He was sinless, but yet he paid the price for us. And I thought, then I began to get more revelation on it, that to give up my right, I don't have to fight every fight. I don't have to win every argument. And I think from that day, I kind of backed off. So I think what we've developed is a really strong relationship. We argument is like, when do we argue? You know what I mean? It's just. I said to someone yesterday, I wake up every day happy. I usually wake up before you. Once in a while, you wake up before me. But if you don't wake up before me. I wake up waiting for you to wake up. Then I fall asleep again, waiting for you to wake up. So, but then I wake up and I'm happy. I'm glad to be alive. I'm glad to be married. Yeah,
That's good. Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah. That's
Did
good.
I answer that, or did you? Or is it mine?
It
Okay.
was mine.
When was the last time I disappointed you, and how do you feel about it now?
Oh my God. When was the last time you disappointed me? I can't think. Of anything. I can't think of it.
Okay,
Is that good?
that's a good thing.
When was the last time you disappointed me? I can't think of anything.
I'm on time. You go
Do
then.
you want to ask me another question?
Yes, let me
then?
ask you
Seeing
another one. Okay. When was the first time you knew that I loved you? That's a good one.
When was the first
First time you knew that I loved you. That's a good question. When was the first time you knew that I loved you?
I think I
Let me
knew
see.
that from the beginning.
When?
When we first, I think I knew that at least within days of dating.
I knew I loved you the day I saw you.
Mm.
It was just like, this is the one.
Yeah.
We started dating on the 13th of December, and we got married on the 26th of April. December, January, February, March, April. 4 months. When you know what you want and you're just there, why are you going to hang around? I've seen these Christian couples dated for 2 years, like insane. So yes, I knew I loved you straight away. So it's your question. I've always been an action person, haven't I?
When do you think I'm most concerned for you?
You are concerned with if I don't eat right. You're concerned about my health. Constantly feeling my body for lumps. You've touched my body all the time. I don't have any lumps. So you're constantly prodding me for lumps. I don't know what lumps is. I don't have any lumps, but
just check it. Sure.
You're concerned about. I think you've got used to my working. So you understand I work and I have no cut-off time for work. If I got to do it, I'll do it. The other day, I know you were getting ready and I had a counselling session, but I think mostly is my health and then my health and my eating. You get concerned about that. Anything else? Have I missed anything?
No, it's true.
I know you're right.
Yeah.
So let me give it a couple.
Check your moles.
Yeah. I've got moles.
You got moles. I always check them to see if they're still flat.
Okay.
If they've changed.
What does it mean if they change?
It can mean something, so
Okay.
I just keep an eye on them for you.
All right. When do you think? Is that me or you? It's you. It's you.
No, I just asked that question.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yes. When do you think
Is it
I'm
me or
most
her?
concerned for you? It's your turn to
Okay.
ask a question.
When do you think I need space, and are you giving it to me?
When do you need space?
Mm.
You like to have your space when you're studying, and I do try to give that to you. I leave you alone so that you can have that time to prepare yourself. Generally, you don't want space
No,
from
I've
me.
been with you.
I know.
Yeah.
You will if I go up early, you don't stay down here. You'll
No.
go upstairs. So I know that really the only time that you want space from me is like so that you can study.
I'll be with God.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So I hope this is helping all of you. I hope you're doing this as well, you know? Go ahead. It's, be honest with your answers, right?
Yeah. When do we argue, and how does it make us better? When do we argue?
We don't really argue like that. I think we used to argue, but even in the days when we argued, for some reason, I don't know where we got this from, but we never exchanged harsh words. Do you remember? Is where you used to do this thing, you don't do it now, but you just go quiet.
Yeah.
And I said, what's wrong? And you don't answer, you say nothing. And then 3 days later, you come back and say, can I talk to you?
Because I'm processing
yeah,
it.
but by
It's my
then,
way.
yeah, but by then it's gone.
No, it's not gone.
But the Bible says we're not to let the sun go down on our wrath. So whatever issues we have in the
Yeah,
day,
but usually at the time when you've just been hurt, you're in pain, and you don't always want to talk about the pain at the time when it's the most painful.
Okay.
So usually, if you listen,
Okay, I'm listening.
we come back
Okay.
when the pain is not as intense.
Okay.
Then we can talk about it.
Okay. So do we do that if you injure yourself, you wait a few days before you go to the hospital?
No, that's different.
No, it's not different.
It's different.
You're supposed to not let the sun go down on your wrath.
I understand that.
So we're supposed to, whatever the issues are.
So do we argue?
No, we don't argue now.
Okay.
So, are we arguing now?
Sounds like it.
Okay, so is that my
And
question?
how does it make us better? How does arguing make us better? I think it's not so much that it's not really arguing that we do, but we are. We will talk about something till we get to the place of where we find a solution. Because
that's one of the skills, communication.
Yeah, there's times where we'll challenge. Obviously, I'm not just going to accept everything you say, and vice versa. So we will throw that back and forward, not in an argumentative way, but I think both of us give each other the space to be heard. And I think what makes us better from that is that obviously you learn to listen to each other, learn to hear each other, and hear each other's views or opinions on whatever it is that we may not be agreeing on, and we can see it from each other's perspective.
But what I learned years ago, one of the things that stops a lot of arguments is when a decision is made. Do you remember I used to make decisions and just do things off by myself?
Which obviously causes
and
arguments.
then big arguments. But then I realised if I talk to you about it, and we both agree together, and it goes wrong, who are we going to argue with?
Exactly.
So that removed a lot of arguments from our life, because now, before we do anything, we talk about it.
Yeah.
We discuss it.
Yeah.
If we're changing the car, we agree on, even if it's for you, we agree on the colour. We both have input into what's being
It's
done.
true.
We never, it's never my
I think
car.
that's something that a lot of couples can really take from that is it removes the argument if you learn to talk about things before you actually initiate them.
Yeah.
Don't just go off and do stuff.
If you do it on your own, it goes wrong. It's major arguments.
Yeah.
But when you make the decision together and it goes wrong, it's me and you. It's not you or me.
We both
Yeah,
were
that
involved
removes
in
a lot
it.
of strife.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think we're up on time now.
Yeah.
We've got one question. Someone.
It's your turn.
Someone's.
Oh.
Last question. Okay. Last question. When did you feel most alone in our relationship, and what did you learn from it?
When did I feel most alone? When did I feel most alone in our relationship? I think there was a period of time where I felt you were so consumed with the ministry. And it was just like that was your whole living and breathing. You took that, you brought it home. There wasn't only us, it was like church. And I know there was a time where it was, for me, it was like, you need to, you know, that was what I was trying to communicate to you. You need to learn to set boundaries. And that can be really lonely. And I know there's probably a lot of women in my position that are married to pastors, and they don't know how to cut that off. So you can be in this marriage, you can be in this relationship and feel very alone because this person has this. It's almost like there's no room in your life for me. And you know, we're going through all the motions of church, but there was that time where it felt like you were very much it was just that was your world and I wasn't a part of it, and it felt quite lonely.
Have you guys enjoyed that?
I hope
Did you learn something? Did you feel like you were eavesdropping on their conversation? I did. The aim and the goal of this challenge is to obviously get to know each other better. And obviously you guys have been married for 45 years, been together 46 years, and I think that you both learned something new about each other tonight. And that's really the aim and the goal of this challenge. You know, you can all feel free to do this. I know that there is an app, the Skin Deep app. You can go on their website and really challenge yourself to get to know the people in your life better. We're not finished though. Next week we're going to continue.
Family?
And it's a family edition. So it's going to be the Goodmans, Bakers, Lancasters around the table next week. So don't forget to tune in. It's going to be at the same time, 8 p.m. on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And we'll see you next week for another episode of Skin Deep.
God bless you. Have a good night. And take this lesson to yourself, to each other, and practice with each other.
Absolutely.
Create your own questions if need be.
Take care.
Have a good week. God bless
Bye-bye.
you. See you on
Friday for Midnight Prayer.
What about the kids?
So Friday for Midnight Prayer, we have Saturday, we have Bedtime Stories, and then Sunday we're back with Kingdom Kids at 9:30, and then main service at 11 a.m.
And if you are lonely, you need prayer, come down. We're there from 9:30.
Yes.
We can pray with you, chat with you, or for those who don't know how to do your tithe and offering online, come down. We'll help you with that as well.
Absolutely.
Amen. Thank you for tonight. It's been enlightening.
Yeah, very much.
Thank you guys.
Have
We'll
a
see you
good
on
week.
bread
God bless you.
tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.